about love and friends and family.
It's all about sharing a feast and cheers.
It's always been happy cause the children are dear.
It's all about peace every time of the year.
If only I could see your face again, not behind the screen at the other end.
If only we could party, kick back your boots, just let me.
Wishing Christmas time to be together again.
It's all about the family. It's all about TNC. What? It's all about the family. Don't fret, don't sweat. You know what it is, cause you know and I know we'll be together
We're
again.
going together to be together. It's Christmas time once again, and you know how we'll begin. Spread love and receive blessings from above.
If only I could see your face again, not behind the screen at the other end. If only we could party, kick back your boots, just let me.
Wishing Christmas time we'd be together again.
Wishing Christmas time we'll be together again.
The new channel. The new channel. Hashtag TNC Now.
The views, opinions, and insights expressed in the following shows are those of the host, producers, guests, and viewers. They do not necessarily reflect the position of the channel. Viewer discretion is advised.
Well, hello and welcome to the new channel. We are born out of passion. We're a community that helps you be the new you. I'm Dr. Mras, streaming live from the United States from the beautiful mountains of Colorado. You are watching Mental Shift. Well, hello to the Philippines and to the United States. Hello, Merry Christmas. And to the Philippines, let's see if I remember this. I always say magandang umaga sa inyong lahat, but maligayang Pasko, because I won't be there on live for Christmas. So tonight, or this morning, depending on where you are, my guest is the TNC Chief Executive Producer. She's a 20-year-old marketing and business development executive who has been instrumental in the growth of different companies around Asia and the United States. And tonight we're going to be talking about how there's beauty in the change. And we're going to go forward about 5 years and backwards about 5 years. But please welcome my friend and the executive producer of TNC. We would not be here without her, Miss Apple, and I'm always going to say her name wrong, Manansala. Come on. Did I say
Hi,
your name right?
Miguel. Good morning.
Good morning. Did I even say your name, Manansala?
Yes, correctly.
I did it.
Yes, you did it. Great job, as always.
Well, welcome and thank you for joining me on the show tonight and, well, this morning. I always do that to you. But my question to you is you have several companies. I mean, I've watched you grow TNC, but what other companies do you have?
Uh, I am first of all, the main business is Puzzle Box BPO Inc. It's an outsourcing solutions company. It's run by my husband and myself. It's turning 10 this coming February 2023. And then before pandemic we also opened a chain of barber shops. So we have a chain of barber shops slash salons here in the Philippines. And then I have a few distribution company. Some I can mention, some I can't. And then yeah, and other
Busy lady.
and some other investments as well. So the other investments are, the ones funding TNC
Yeah.
until this moment. Yeah. So, but this year, definitely I had focused on TNC for 2022 because it is the business that needs me the most.
Well,
So that's what
you started a group of ladies. You started Global Women Who Rule, and I mean, I'm real curious about what started that. What was the mental shift you had to say, you know what, we need Global Women Who Rule, and what does RULE stand for?
when I thought of creating Global Women Who Rule, I was like a bit forced to create something in a way because everyone has a show on TNC, right? And I've always been the one saying, no, I just want to be behind the screen. I just want to be behind the scenes so I can give you feedback. And that's what the management role should be. And so because I'm the only one who doesn't have a show at the time, I said, okay, let me just think of something that I want to do, something that I want to do long term, but not necessarily a show or not necessarily in a show format. So I thought of creating something that will also not, judge the business of TNC as a conflict to versus the other media companies here in the Philippines. So I said to myself, what's the best thing about what you do? Because there's several business, as you said, that you're managing and you're helping your family as well in some other things that they're doing. And then you are also active in some organization. So I thought of, why don't I put up my own organization? Because I'm not the one used to, joining organization. And then one day I just realized, oh, there's so many Filipino women here and abroad who are not recognized. And they rule in their own ways. But at the end of the day, and in this day and age, it's still men who is really recognized or highly recognized. So I thought to myself, why don't I come up with a list of exciting personalities who will talk about their lives or the best part of their lives so far and not necessarily just their work. Because even in my case, I've been used to talking about my work and the things that I do at work and the things that I do with my business. But I hardly talk about the best things that I have done in my life. In a more serious format, like in an event format. Like I'm not gonna go there to talk about my life or like the best thing that I have done for my mom or the best thing that I have done as a mother, the best thing that I have done as a community creator. It's always the best thing that I have done for my business because my business is growing. So it's always like that. And so I said to myself, okay, there are so many women personalities. I'll try to talk to each one of them. And then that's along the way, I'll process what can be done and what should be done, what's needed. And at the time of pandemic, this is 2021, I thought to myself as well, what kind of topic will these women talk about that will inspire other people? And at the same time, 5-10 years from now, it'll still be relevant. So when I talk to you, when I talk to the other women in 2021, I couldn't categorically say that they're girls. You know, you're not girls. You're so empowered in your own way. And the unique thing about Global Women Who Rule is that we were able to create different women from different walks of life, literally and figuratively speaking. Like women from different parts of the world, Filipino women all over the world, Filipino women in the Philippines, but in different parts of the provinces in the Philippines as well, gathered together in an online format. And hopefully in 2023, we will be able to see each other physically, to celebrate the 2023 Global Women Who Rule event.
Make it a
So
gala.
yeah, that's the plan. That's the plan. Hopefully, with God's grace, it'll materialize. I see no reason why it won't, because the acceptance of the people here who will help organize, of course, is very positive. I think it's just about time for us to also see each other. But really, I'm just looking for something to do that people will still resemble to even years from now. You don't want to be creating something on social media or in any platform just for now. You want to be able to create something that will still benefit more people even after today, even after the time that you did it, because you'll still be proud of doing it.
Yeah,
You'll
you want to
still
make
be
it evergreen.
Yes, and something that our kids, the future generation, will still be able to use as reference, or they'll still be able to use for their life. It's something, if our stories will be able to help them realize that theirs is unique, and that no one can tell you that you cannot rule your own world. You can. And everyone will also be reminded that there is a choice to create better content on social media. There is a choice to create more responsible conversations. So that's what we're doing. So even mounting events, it's not just all about fun. It can be fun and transformational to people at the same time.
So, what does RULE stand for? What does the R stand for?
RULE stands for reach out, unite, love, and encourage each other. So I'm still trying to build the actual, when we do face-to-face already, there has to be a specific, industries that we're creating. Those are suggested to me. But when I was writing RULE itself, it says reach out. So you have to reach out no matter where you are in the world. Unite, let's gather together for common good. And just by being proud Filipino people, just by being proud for a little blood, Filipino blood in your veins running. And love, because nothing in this world will ever be happening if we don't care for each other, if we don't love each other. And love should be everything. That should be the root of everything that we're doing. We're going to reach out to these people because we love them, because we care for them, right? And encourage each other. We don't put any woman down. And we also don't, we also welcome everyone, not just women in a community. Because many communities, they're very specific to their audience. Like it's just all mothers, and then it's just all new moms. It's just all, there's hardly anything that welcomes the husbands, the brothers, the sisters, and all of those people. And even the LGBT community, they have their own, but there is no organization that welcomes all of them. And I was hoping and wishing that could be Global Women Who Rule, but still led by women. Because the whole idea is for these women, just like me, to use our voices. To use our voices to campaign for something that's really good. And to be able to help charity once a year. Charity that will really recognize, and charity that will really help move forward. Without, thinking that others might judge us because is it a real charity, or just, charity for the sake of, publicity. So we're not going to do, and those are things that we're also trying to object. It's when you do charity, yeah, there are some that you just have to keep to yourself, but there are some that you just need to tell other people because it will also help them campaign for their work or for their projects if there will be a group who will support them. So that's what we're trying to do. That's a lot already. That's a
And the
lot.
thing is you're not trying, you are. I mean, there was a lot of giving that happened through Global Women Who Rule. There was a lot of charity that was brought through and around, and that the amount of advertising that went around Global Women Who Rule, it created almost a tsunami wave of awareness of these women are. We all have a common blood in us. We all have Philippine blood in us, and we're doing things around the world, but we do it quietly. And then this one point, we all come together and say, hey, this is what we do. And I love that because, me with my book, Hold My Crown, Women of Grit. Women of Grit share stories of resilience. It was, you did a virtual show basically of that's my book. So my book, I had everyone write it down. You had us all come on to this live platform, and we did a summit, an all-day summit, and each of us got to speak from our hearts about the things that we do or the things that are very passionate for us. So we did it virtually with Global Women Who Rule on, so everyone can watch. I put it in a book. And so I was thinking that, maybe next time that's what we should do is take all of our stories, transcribe them, and have a Global Women Who Rules, I don't know, a documentary that just starts building, almost like a time capsule, but of each of these stories just coming together, because there was a lot of wisdom from all ages coming through Global Women Who Rule. It was a very beautiful, beautiful organization to be a part of and to witness. And so if you're watching, you missed us when we did Global Women Who Rule for the past 2 years, catch the one coming up again next year. Around the corner.
We can link them the replay.
Yeah.
The replay links on this episode. The Rex, can you? So but Michelle, thanks for pointing that out. Yeah, definitely the book, the documentary book is on its way. The 2021 is halfway through already. I have yet to show you guys how it looks like, but there's already a prototype for that.
Good.
And then we're finishing also 2022. Hopefully, if we have enough volunteers to help us make it happen, we're going to be able to release the 2021 book and the 2022 book in 2023. That's the goal. It's just really, this year has been really crazy for so many things that we had to launch for TNC. And of course, it's still high pandemic here in the Philippines. There's 2 waves of COVID that we've gone through. And there's so many things that's happening also in the other businesses. So it's still very difficult to move things around, just having a very lean team. But that's always been part of the goal, to come up with a book, like a souvenir memorabilia kind of thing, or at least like really a masterpiece for everyone, something that you can hold, something that you can flip on your finger. I'm so excited to show you how the prototype looks like, but it's exciting. These are what happened during the online event, and then we're putting it in a book.
Outstanding. Well, then my other question about all that is, we decided we were going to come on together and talk about the beauty of change. And because from when I met you to what we're doing in the future, it has altered dramatically. Not only our way we think, but our vision for what can be. I know when we first met with TNC, it was like, okay, bring the podcast on. Okay, we're just going to do it this way. And I know just from when I've been on, the hundreds of shows that have been added. When we first started, we were able to say out loud, please watch. And we would say each of the shows. And now it's like, to say all the shows, it would be the whole show, because there's so many of us. And I just love to see that the growth of TNC, it was exponential. And what was powerful about that is this idea of TNC, of when it started during COVID, to give people a platform to share their stories and to share what they know and bring people together because, the news went down, everything was going down, to give a platform, it's turned into its own entity. And you have changed completely. You were very, very quiet. And now you're not so quiet. You've matured in your confidence of how you project yourself now. And so the change is beautiful. And so I have this quote that I wrote in one of my first books. I think it was my first book. Change is an emotional journey. It's not rainbows and butterflies. I mean, there was a lot of hardship that came through this past couple of years. It's what is that? But it's not rainbows and butterflies through a field of daisies. It's hard. It's complicated, and it forces you to see who you truly are. The beauty in change is the possibility. And so I wanted to say that to you because it's been a rough road these past couple of years, but
It is.
we show up, we're still smiling, we're still giving, we're still seeing the future and growing.
Yeah. I know, because at this point, and even before and up to now, it's still serving its purpose. From day one, when I thought this brand will gonna go global because that's going to be our reach. That's what we want to happen. We want to showcase Filipino talents. We want to showcase also other nations' talents, but we want to be able to let them, see what we got, and we want to be able to give priority to those who doesn't have a platform. We want to give an option for those who have not been interviewed online or any time in their life in any platform to be on TNC. And we want to be able to encourage more people to show up, to use their voices, because there is a platform that will enable them to do that. And there's a management who will support them, who will believe in them. And that we're all doing this, yes, for business, but at the same time for a greater good, not just for now, but also for the future. I think for the past years, people has begun to see that. And as you said, I tend to be quiet because I wanted to be at the backstage looking at what's happening. But at some point, it can't be just that. I have to go out. As you've been seeing, I've been going around the Philippines, even in Singapore, interviewing people. So don't be surprised if I go there. We're going to be interviewing people together, because that's that's one of the things that I thought has enabled TNC to be seen by people in a different way now. So they saw already the hard work that you have done in the past. And so we have to be agile also in making sure that they see us as a platform that will adjust to whatever is needed at the moment that we're doing it. So right now, there are a lot of shows that are not doing live anymore. And like before, we're all live stream because it's easier, it's faster. But now we can do recordings already. We use studios here in the Philippines already. And we encourage our hosts to go out and meet new people because that's what's needed right now. People here in the Philippines are also already going out. So we have to be adjusting to that norm as well. Short content was needed. So we have produced a lot of short content on the platforms that we have. Our own website where all these shows will be seen is coming up in 2023. Like, you just go to our website and then they can watch it already. Our own website is already up. We can link down below as well in the comments. It's www.thenewchannel.com. So if you click that, you can get all the information about the company, all the information about the shows, all the information about the hosts. And we've already also recognized the fact that our hosts are not just hosts. They are rock stars in their own fields, and they are KOLs. They are key opinion leaders, thought leaders in the industry which they serve. The most important part is that we have already and formed a community group, within TNC, whose priority is just basically to use their voices so that they'll be able to amplify their own advocacies through the show that they are hosting. So to me, Michelle, that's very important. And I do not see myself stopping. I will just keep going until I stop meeting people like you. People like you who does tremendously great and awesome in the, many in the which is seen in the lives of the other people around you. And I see that also in the lives of the other hosts. They tend to really create something that's needed, tend to create something that is going to help more people. And I'm just glad, despite all the the hurdles, despite all the bumps along the way, I'm still glad that at the end of the day, I wouldn't be able to meet wonderful people if not through a platform that is TNC. So, but I know that behind TNC, all the platform is also, very important and lifelong relationships already that we've created. So I guess it's also, safe to say that TNC or not, we're gonna be on the advocacy together, whatever happens. Because any business can change, any company can change, any decision can also change. But one thing's for sure, we're not gonna change in the beautiful and the good things that we're doing and that we're sharing together. Yeah.
There we are. It's like I disappeared. I didn't know if you could hear me. Well, the whole thing is there's always an appreciation of the downs. I did a keynote this past couple of days ago while I was on the East Coast of the United States, and I likened life is a heartbeat. Heartbeat. There's downs, there's ups, there's downs, there's ups. And in order for us to have any ups, we must have a down, just like a heartbeat. And if you had everything stay high and never go down, you're flatlined. Flatlining's bad. That means you're dead. So with every down, there's always an equal or bigger up. So whenever something bad happens, know that the next thing that's going to happen will be an up. There's never a double down. It's always a down, up, down, up, down, up. So you look for the ups. And that's what's happened here with you and watching you grow and TNC grow. We've had bumps, but we've come back up. Bumps, and then we grow. Bump, and then we come back up again. And we're watching this channel grow and this live channel grow. Yes, a lot of people are going recording. I'm one of them because I'm traveling so much, but the live, there's something special about live, and there's something unique, and there's that energy about live that I don't like letting go. And so I will always go live as much as possible. And I thank you for being flexible. That TNC is flexible, that we are your hosts. We're all movers and shakers in our own fields. We are moving very quickly, and with the credibility of being on TNC, the credibility of being on it's an international program, is that people see us and do, wow, I want you here. So it's moving us faster in our career fields because of TNC, because of the exposure we give to the world, because of the people we are interviewing. It's igniting us into another field. So I love the ups. I love the downs, but I love the bigger ups that come after those downs. And I wanted to make sure that we talk in the second half after commercial. We'll come back and we'll talk about what we see for the future, and we will put it out into the cosmos of what we want to bring to this channel, because once you say it out loud, God brings it to us. So we will make sure we cover that. So if you are watching us right now, and I see you, I know you are, please share this with your friends and family, because we're going to talk about what's going to happen next. So stay tuned. We'll be right back right after these commercials. Thank you for watching Mental Shift. Now, did you share this with someone you care about? If you don't, you should, because tonight we are talking about the beauty of change. And did you know that TNC is a live stream platform of online shows for people on the go? So watch our shows as you see here on the screen and imagine having your own show, your own playlist, your own content, but we make it easier for you. TNC aims to transform the lives of our viewers through engaging, authentic, and original content. Our vision is to become a global 24/7 live stream channel that showcases Filipino talent, global influencers, cultural intelligence, and ingenuity. Continue to watch Mental Shift Tuesdays at 7:30 p.m. Mountain Standard Time, Wednesday mornings at 10:30 a.m. Philippines. You can also watch replays via Facebook or YouTube. Follow us on Instagram and listen to us on Spotify and Apple Podcast. Just search hashtag TNC Now. For sponsorships, please email now@thenewchannel.com or send a direct message to The New Channel. So enjoy these life-changing shows because we made them just for you. And welcome back. My name is Dr. Michelle Mras, and my guest tonight is Apple Manansala. Please come back. There you are.
Thanks, Michelle.
No, thanks for joining me. So, what do you see for the future? I mean, personally, business-wise, I mean, with me, you know, one of mine, we're joining forces with Zondra TV. So that's one of my future things that I'm excited about. And in January, I'm doing a speaker boot camp. So an unapologetic speaker camp in Colorado Springs. And at the end of that camp, after we've formed their messaging and trained them on stage and gotten video of them, all of this fun stuff for speakers, we're going to have them on my show. I have a studio and 4 cameras, and we are going to film it as a real TV show instead of on Zoom. So my shows in January will come out, well, I think it'll be February, will come out with a live studio audience.
That's great. That's great.
I'm excited.
I'm excited for you too. And I'm excited for the many things that we will do for TNC still for 2020, for 2023. So one of the big news is basically the partnership that we are having with Zondra TV, with your show and another show pioneering on that platform. So I'm not sure if we're ready to show that. Maybe the directors can upload it and we can show it here. But we haven't shown this to Zondra yet, so maybe not. So, but we are ready to fly with a Zondra TV partnership. So this means that some of the TNC shows will be seen on a cable network in the US and also in Australia. Those were already confirmed. Yes.
That's my new platform. My new poster. Pretty cool, huh?
Yep. So they're still fixing all of it. They told us that probably by February it'll be ready on stream through their platform. So it's like going to be a partnership and a collaboration between TNC and, well, the New Channel Media Corp and also Zondra TV Network. So that's just one. And then what's in the future? I look forward to more of that. There is one business or one company who already approached us, and they will take care of our YouTube channel. They are a Thai-based network company. And they handle brands and they handle companies and also networks. So that's what they're going to do. And I'm just so happy, Michelle, because when I thought of creating or putting a more serious hat on TNC, I've always really wanted this to be global. I knew that, you know, joking aside, our beauty is for global. You know, I love the Philippines, but I just thought that there's a tough competition here. It's a tougher competition here on digital platform versus the world. And I want to achieve that, the world stage. I want to achieve that, not for myself, but for the shows, because I know that the shows are really done with global standards. And that's the only thing that I can put into the table because of my global experience handling brands, my global experience meeting with several people from the media industries and the media outfits. I also thought to myself, this is what I want and this is what I thought would be great for the business. And that's what we want to do. We'll start with Zondra, and then we'll finish A to Z, because Zondra TV is ZTV. So just expect that not probably everything by next year, but we're gonna start next year, and in the next 5 years or in the next 3 years, we're gonna give you an A to Z kind of options. So we're gonna be your alternative TV network. We're gonna be that new TV platform that people will be itching to look at, that people will other platforms will reference their materials from, they reference their shows from. And there will be a few more shows that's coming up on TNC, a few more thought leaders, and they're not small people as well here in the Philippines. When I say small, they're like big names in their respective industries that are coming. And I'm just so happy because these are all just happening because people trust what we're doing. People begin to see us already. All the hard work, all the investments that we have created, although not yet enough, are already slowly paying off. So hopefully in beginning next year and in the next coming years, there will be more collaborations for TNC. I'm so into collaborations, Michelle. I know that we can put our own and we can have our own, but I feel that it'll be faster to map ourselves around, to map the brand around the world if we will be forming collaborations with existing partners or with those who have the same values as we have, so that we can do the global exposure of TNC happening all at the same time in different continents.
Well, I'm big about collaboration and connecting people, and my publicist now has a billboard in Times Square. And so that's the next thing I'd like to connect you to once everything gets squared away with Zondra and all that, is connect you so that you and Zondra can help figure out a way to get the whole brand onto a billboard in Times Square. That would be a wonderful thing.
Oh,
I've got that connection now. And I just sent a photo to the back office. I think Monica might have it. I'm making a music album in 2023.
Wow, they're showing it here.
Cool, huh?
Uh-huh.
We haven't finished it, but I'm playing around and finding songs that work well. But that's my cover. My publicist loves it, but my publisher is the one who took the picture. Pretty cool, huh?
Yeah, it is. I'm so excited for you. I'm so excited for you. So this is going to be an album. So it's all music, right?
Yes. Well,
and this is one of your love.
Everyone loves to tease me that I sing on all my shows. So now I'm going to put out an album.
That's great. That's great. I'm so happy for you, and I'm very excited for the many things that will open up also for you in 2023. It's just so wonderful to be watching you every time I listen to your podcast here on TNC, or even the ones that's not on TNC, because not many people know that I really do appreciate you staying and sticking it out and believing in what we can do together on TNC for Mental Shift, because you have all the chances to actually leave and, pack your bag and just move to another platform. But hey, you don't. Because I know that you also see whatever it is that I'm seeing, that sometimes, or even at this point, is still grayscale. Yeah, there's some colors to it already. But yeah, Michelle was right. It's not a rainbow yet. And I don't think I will ever see it as a pure and a perfect rainbow, because that's how because that's how I perceive a business. It's always a work in progress. Yeah, we've done great in this, but I never stop. Not that I don't get contented, but I just feel like there's always room for improvement. And there's that there has to be that hunger in whatever it is that we're doing, because otherwise we're going to be stagnant. So it's the same thing. It's the same energy that I release. And I specifically focused on creating new content for TNC for the last year, that I have been really focused on it. And you've seen there are so many new names that came out. Even the existing shows created their other shows. We were able to create a different angle to what they have been doing. And you can see that you can expect, you will expect that there will be more of that, because I intend to still focus on creating content. And then we're going to be forming partnerships with different advertising agencies here in the Philippines. That's one of the news. So they already told me that they're interested on it. We've done some pitches already in this beginning this month, and hopefully we'll polish everything by January, and we will have more announcements to make in January for sure. So I can just really, it really ups my energy when I talk to people and they listen to what I say and they put their contribution to it, and they see that this is really a potential.
Oh, it's huge.
So, and when I talk to them about what are the things that we have and what are the things that we still don't have, but we want to be able to have or we want to achieve, they're just so happy to do it with us. So I guess it's just a matter of me, cutting myself into pieces and talking to more people. And I'd gladly do that. But at the end of the day, Michelle, you're asking about what kind of future I see on TNC. I see a future of TNC that's not just bright, but also a community that's already been formed. TNC is not just about me. It's never about one or two people who created it from the very beginning. No, it's never been like that to me. In my personal perspective, it's never been like that. TNC has always been for me a way to help other people. I once helped someone, to create this together. And that ignited so many other help to other people. What I mean to say is that you don't stop helping people. And when you start from that point, it never gets tiring. You just believe that you are used by the Lord, by the most powerful creature on earth, to enable more people to absorb or to receive that help coming from him. And that's what I've always been feeling about this platform. That's why I said this has always been global to me. I've never really seen this as something that's just going to be just for the Philippines. It's just really a platform that will showcase to the rest of the world what Filipino talents can actually bring, what Filipino talents can do. And by helping one or two people, these two people that you have helped will be able to help more people because they're receiving that from you. And that's what I want to happen on TNC. And I think that's also been what's happening, between us, Michelle. It's just so easy to share connections. It's just so easy to share the good things, the good news that are coming our way, because we don't feel like it's going to stop there. You know that when you share these things to the people within TNC, you know that it's going to multiply. And that's what I've always wanted to happen. I've been too quiet before because I would want and still want and look forward to the hosts or the creators of the channel to shine, not me as the owner of the business or not me as one of the founders of this brand. So it's always been, it has to be someone who's behind that mental shift or in front of that mental shift who will shine. And I don't know about other people, but to me, Michelle, whatever happens, I'll be the first person to celebrate whatever or wherever this brand will go. Like wherever Mental Shift go, I'll be very happy. Wherever other shows, Reality, Business Brews and Beyond, what else? Beyond Beauty, Para sa Bayan. Whenever I see these logos being recognized and whenever I see the creators or the hosts KOLs of TNC being recognized everywhere. I'm just sincerely happy about it. I never saw myself as someone who's supposed to be part of it all the time, but I know that the recognition is always part of it, you know, and that I'm always recognized as part of it. And that is just pure happiness for me. I don't know where that energy is coming from. I don't know why I don't feel, you know, I know it's natural for one to feel that, hey, you know, it's this brand is coming in too strong, might be like this. No, I just trust that I'd never had any negative thoughts about whatever it is that we're doing. So I guess that's just my compass. You know, that's my compass. If this still makes you happy, then for sure it'll make other people happy. So go out, help this person, create that content with this person, and that will enable this content creator that you're helping to, you know, to share that values, attitude, and that spirit to other people that will be touched through the show.
Well, you've got to think though, like with a Mental Shift, it was a podcast. So originally it was a radio show that I had here in Colorado Springs. It was on 93.9 KCMJ. So it started off as a radio show. Then I moved it to Facebook. And then when COVID hit, I made it a podcast. And then the podcast, you invited me on to TNC. So what was incredible about that is, and that's why it's such a good thing, you helped me amplify my message by bringing me across the ocean into the Philippines. I mean, I had a reach, but not that far. And by bringing me to the Philippines, what happened was when I'm going around speaking and doing my book tours and things that I do around the United States, people are like, wait a minute, you have a show? It's in the Philippines? I said, yeah, it's a live stream out of the Philippines. And that's how I met Zandra. And so it amplified out. Now, I was just in Washington, D.C. There was a African delegation happening with President Biden on a Saturday. Well, I went to a party on Friday night for something called Innovation Now. And I interviewed a couple of African millionaires and a billionaire. And I interviewed them for this show. And I only had 10 minutes with each of them. And so we had wonderful interviews. And now they're asking me if I can bring my show to Africa.
Wow.
So we don't know what will happen, but they could be taking my podcast, Denim and Pearls, but they really liked my ability to interview. It was powerful. So I don't know. You never know. And so that's why what you've opened the door for, that this platform on TNC, there's nothing bad that could ever happen, because what it's doing, it's doing what leaders do. A leader shows the way, right? Gives the vision and then lets people go, lets them go. And then you guide from the back and you let them do what they need to do in order to flourish. And then when bad things happen, you pull out some of the weeds and then you let it go again. That's what you're doing, Apple. And then you're finding more parts of the garden that we can be planted into just by letting us naturally and organically be the best versions of us when we're on the air. And someone just hashtagged helping people. Yes, this is what TNC does. This is what this whole platform was about, was helping people in time of need. In the COVID world, when we were all locked down, especially in the Philippines, no one could go outside at all. I mean, at least in America, we were allowed to go out. Because we're not as confined, New York, they were confined down, locked. In the Philippines, confined down, locked. TNC became TNC to help people out of their own heads, to help them find an escape route to the thoughts that were running through their heads when they were afraid and when they were alone. TNC came about in order to be that lifeline to other people when people were in need of and afraid of being alone. And so that's how TNC started. So helping people is the baseline of what this entire network is about. And it will continue to do so as it reaches across the globe further and further and reaches more people. And even if we highlight every partial Filipino in the planet, because everyone knows when you meet a Filipino that we are hardworking. We have this high integrity work ethic, and that we give our best, we give our heart. And when you are part of our family, you become our family. And that's how our Philippine culture is. We are family. You can never meet a Filipino who isn't family. As soon as we see someone we hear our accent and suddenly we're best friends. And that's really what TNC is it was this opening the door of friendship reaching across the ocean.
Agree.
Come be with us. If you need a voice, come be with us. If you need an outlet, come be with us. Do you want a platform? Come be with us. It was all about branching into more family. And that's why I never leave TNC, because I know the heart. And it's part of who I am also. I love to uplift. It's part of me to bring people under my wing and take care of them and help them become the best version of them. And so don't worry about how it's working or what it's doing. We just know that it's on an amazing momentum. My mentor, John C. Maxwell, he says it's all momentum. You ride the momentum, and that's what leadership does. Leadership helps people. It's that lid. It's that you can't get any stronger than the leader. If the leader has a low lid, like a 7, then everything will stop. But your leadership, your ability to see beyond what the rest of us see, that you can see a future of something bigger. We're able to rise higher because your leadership lid is very high. You allow us to grow because you're not stifled with a small vision. You've got a big vision, so it keeps us growing. So you keep that big vision. You keep believing in gigantic rainbows, because it's that mentality that is helping this entire station grow to the capability of what it really is. It is a global hug. It's a global hug, because that's what you're allowing it to be. So we thank you.
I'm sure. I just have to be, we just all have to be patient about it, because it's not an overnight work.
Never.
I'm sure one day, all these brands, all these companies will come to us and tell us that, hey, how do you do what you do? How do you do what you do? And why do you do what you do? Yeah, how do you do what you do? Why do you do what you do? How do you do it? We want to be part of it. And I can't wait for that day to happen. I'm sure it'll happen soon, because I've heard from you before saying that there are different types of companies and or businesses. One is yours, one is mine, the other one is ours. But for TNC, I've already told the Lord that it's His, and He just uses me as His enabler for these people to be for more people to be touched. So to me, as long as I know that there is one person who believes that we do great on TNC, and at this point, I'm not alone. I'm not one. There are 20 plus people who still has a show on TNC at this very moment. So if people are believing that no one is watching, hey, you gotta just wait until this thing that we're doing becomes big. And then when that happens, you will all come knocking and telling us, oh, I should have been part of it from the very beginning, because Apple already told me so, or like Apple invited me so already. But it's okay. We don't close doors to anyone. Everyone is welcome to still have their shows. Everyone is welcome to collaborate with us, as long as they believe that whatever it is that they're doing will help amplify other people, not for self reasons, but for a reason that's bigger than themselves. I think that's a very important value that I'm looking for, because whatever it is that I'm doing for TNC, for the new channel Media Corp, for every aspects of it, like the business, the events, the platforms that we're handling, the marketing part of it, the business development of it, which is the shows, all of these are actually a lot bigger than me. if I don't allow it to be seen that way, that this is really entirely bigger than me, I don't think I will be able to handle all of it. And that's also the reason why my leadership skill is that allowing you as professionals to run it on your own, because then I'm seeing that all of you are different people. Just like me, I'm very different from all of you as well. I really see at this point the difference of the individuality, especially that I've already met some of you in person. It's different when you're touching the person and you're able to talk to them in real life, not just on Zoom. I know, and I'm very happy that these platforms are available, because if not, we wouldn't be able to have a relationship. But the relationship is deeper when the people are telling you that, hey, whatever it is that you decide on, you have, you have our support, whatever it is. So it's just really very happy. And I'm just really very happy and feeling overly blessed for hearing those things from different people. I cannot even recall what kind of help or what kind of exact moment I have done to make them feel like saying that to me. But I just know that it's blessing on blessing, that they see that you're not selfish to think just for yourself. You're not selfish to not share whatever it is that you've created. And the want, the hunger to make these people shine even brighter than you is probably just very visible and very much felt by those people that I am talking to or dealing with on a regular basis these days.
It is not your place to know what you did. That's the whole thing. You keep being, that's why I say be the best version of you every day. So if you're out there and you're watching, understand that Apple has been touching lives through TNC and through all of the hosts here on TNC, and she doesn't know what she's done. What she's done is she's given us a platform to speak and to share our stories and to share other people's stories. So if you are out there wondering what you can do and how can you get your voice out there, reach out, write to TNC. And we've given you how to reach out to now@thenewchannel.com or a direct message on any of the social medias, The New Channel, and say, hey, I want to know more about having my voice out on The New Channel. Because here's the thing, we're all growing. We are all forming, and we are at the beginnings of this thing called TNC. And if you'd like to be part of that, come join us, because every day we are being the best version of us. And we have a great leader here with Apple, and we thank her so much for the platform and the ability to give our messages to the world. So Apple, thank you so much for being who you are and for joining me tonight. And to everyone in the world, Maligayang Pasko. And to the America, Merry Christmas.
Merry Christmas, Michelle. And thanks, Ma, for watching. Everything that I do is also for you, to make you proud.
Yay.
My mom is watching.
Hi, Apple's mom. Merry Christmas.
Merry Christmas. Thank you, guys.
Thanks, everyone. See you next week.